Hi, everyone. Good to see you. My name is Sarah, and we're going to be looking at foundational standing poses today. So we're on to our chair, our Utkatasana. Utkata means fierce or intense pose. So it's an intense or a fierce chair. Sometimes it's also translated as awkward, and it is a bit awkward because you're sitting back and there's no chair there. And that is a bit awkward. So grabbing a pillow, if you would like to start your practice today, lifting the hips up helps to tilt the pelvis forwards a little, gives us that lift through the upper body. So finding a cross-legged position that is comfortable to you. So traditionally, Sukhasana, we cross at the mid shins. Think about gathering those legs in, maybe a slight flex to the feet. Squeezing those pelvic floor muscles in and up. Maybe the hands come behind the hips. Lifting tall here, drawing up through the crown of the head. From here, start to take some movement with the breath. So we'll inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bringing them down. Inhale, reaching them up. Exhale, taking them down. Inhaling to lift. As we exhale this time, hinge from the hips, folding forwards, bring those hands down. So looking for a forwards fold with the chest lifted, coming through the arms. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, keeping the back of the neck long. Exhale, maybe tiptoe those hands forwards. Inhale. Exhale, reaching forwards. One more inhale. Exhale, keeping that chest forwards, back is long. And we'll inhale, bringing ourselves back up. And we're going to change the position. So this is another reason it's helpful to have some height under the hips. We're going to come into a malasana, a yogi squat. So if you want more height under the hips, if this is feeling just really hard to kind of get the feet down, a little wider than hip distance and the toes pointing out, then we take more height, or you fold your pillow, or you grab a couple of yoga blocks, up to you. But more height is going to make this more accessible to you. So first of all, we take the arms inside the legs, up to you. If you want to bring the hands to prayer, pushing those elbows out into the knees, squeezing the knees into the elbows. So active tension between the arms and the legs. That's going to help us to lift here. You can probably feel that stretch through the inner thighs. Option to have the hands here. We'll take some twisting movements. So as we exhale, we take the left hand down onto the floor. Inhale, right arm comes back, gaze to the hand behind. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm back, opening the chest, maybe taking the gaze with the hand. Exhale to center, two more either side. So move with your breath. Inhale, opening, twisting, releasing into the shoulder, wide across the collarbones. One more either side. And then we'll come back into our malasana. We're going to turn the toes forwards, and we're maybe going to take the arms on top of the knees. Now from here, maybe you want to position yourself at the back of the mat. I'm going to change my position. And we're going to do a little bit of crawling forwards and back. So this is for our chair. We're going to warm up the core, the ankles, the feet. So from here, we're going to crawl it forward, keep the knees lifted, if you can, into our bear pose. So all fours with the knees hovering. Exhale, bring it back, squatting back. You can keep these hips high. That's better for you. Inhale forwards. Find your all fours. Notice how that core is working. Pressing the hands into the floor. We exhale, bring it back. Again, you can have the hips higher. Inhale forwards into your bear. Hold, hover. Exhale, taking it back. One more, inhaling forwards. Holding here for a breath. We exhale, inhale. And then exhale, bring those knees down. Well done. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, we thread the needle, the right arm coming under the left, the gaze over the right fingertips, right ear, right shoulder to the floor. Not staying here long. If you like, you can come onto the fingertips of the left hand in front of the face. Exhale to walk that left arm up and overhead, working that twist of the spine, turning the chest up. One more inhale here. Opening the chest, exhale. Left hand in front of the face. Press the palm down. Inhale. Right arm up. Gaze to the right hand. Exhale. Back to all fours. Inhale. Left arm up. Take the gaze with it. Exhale. Thread the arm through under the right arm. Left ear comes to the floor. Left shoulder. Option to come onto the tippy fingers of the right hand. Spider that right hand. Or walk it up and overhead, straightening the arm out, staying on those fingertips, and pushing into the left arm, rotating the chest up towards the ceiling. One more inhale. And we'll exhale, right hand down, pressing into the floor in front of the face. Inhale, left arm up, gaze to the fingertips. Exhale, back to all fours, and we'll tuck the toes here. Press the hips high, back into our downward facing dog. Take whatever movement you would like to here. Stretching out those hamstrings, pedaling the feet. Maybe using the breath. Inhale, maybe rocking onto the tippy toes. Bringing the heels as high as you can. And the exhale, starting to explore descending those heels. Keep working with that if you like. Or taking whatever movement feels good to you. One more breath here. We'll look forwards and we'll step our right foot up between our hands. Give it a bit of help if it wants it. Dropping the left knee. We're going to find our lunge here. So feeling that stretch through the front of that left hip. Can be a big one if we've been sitting all day, like I have. Enjoying that challenge. I'm going to work into some lunges, some lunge stretches, just to get those thighs active for our chair later. So from here, we'll inhale, and then we'll exhale. Walk the hands back. Let the right toes lift. Send the hips back over the knees, maybe towards the heels. Inhale here, lengthen the spine. Come onto those fingertips. Exhale, bring it forwards, back to our lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Draw the chest away from the thigh. Exhale, walking it back. You can always keep a soft bend into that right knee. This is our half Hanuman, half splits. Inhale here. Exhale, walking it forwards. Now you can start to speed up. As we exhale, we bring the hips back. Then we inhale forwards to our lunge, lengthening the spine, drawing the chest forwards. Final challenge. If you like, we can hover that back knee. Tuck the toes. Inhale. Exhale, pushing it back. Lifting that heel at those toes. Inhale forwards. Keeping that knee low. Keep it bent. Exhaling back. Extra challenge on those hamstrings. Last one. And as we bring it forwards now, we're going to turn our back foot in. I'm going to turn around. Apologies. Going to come to a side lunge. So the back foot, the toes turn to the wide edge of the mat. So do the front toes. So both toes pointing forwards, keeping our hands over by the right foot. Deep bend in that right thigh. Inhale, straighten both legs, come to center. Exhale, lunging over to the left. Inhale, center, and you keep those hips as high as you like. It's your choice. Feel into the hips, feel what feels good, move with the breath. If you want to intensify, we can start moving the feet, Skandasana. So we inhale to center, and then we exhale, turning the toes out. We lift the toes of the straight leg. Maybe the hips start to come down. Inhale, center, bringing those toes down, keeping them turned out on the bent leg and on that straight leg. Maybe lifting the toes. One more either side. Inhaling to center. And then as we exhale over to the left, we're going to stay here and come into our lunge. So walk the hands around either side of that left foot, drop the right knee. Same thing as before, finding our lunge, appreciating that stretch through the front of the hip. Inhaling here, maybe lifting to the fingertips. Exhale, walking the hands back, lifting the toes on the left foot. Inhaling forwards. Exhale back. Keeping the chest lifted. Inhaling forwards. And exhale back. So if you like, take the option again to tuck the back toes, to hover that knee. So we inhale here. Exhale, pushing it back. You can always keep a bend into that front knee, remember. Inhaling forwards. Exhale back. Keeping that knee as low as we can, just hovering off the floor if you're going there. And after the next exhale, we're going to inhale forwards, plant the hands, step the foot back, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Always the option to turn your down dog into a child's pose. You can drop the knees. You can push the hips back to the heels. Otherwise, staying here. Gentle tuck to the chin. Gaze between the thighs. Maybe up towards the belly button. Pressing the hands into the floor. And starting to find some stillness. So that will lift. Strong lift through the front of the legs. The length coming down the back of the legs. And those hips staying high, belly button drawing in. We'll look forwards and we'll step our feet all the way up to the hands, taking the feet mat width apart, bending the knees as much as you like, folding in, forwards fold. And here we can grab the elbows, little sway side to side maybe, if that feels okay. Enjoying that release in the spine. And then releasing the hands. And from here, we'll inhale, lengthen the spine, taking a little float, warm us up a little bit more. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the right foot back into our lunge. Walk that foot in between the hands, keeping the back knee lifted. Inhale, lengthening the spine forwards. Exhale here. Inhale, reaching the arms up. High crescent lunge. Pushing the back heel away. Think about drawing that belly button in, lengthening the tailbone, squeezing the pelvic floor muscles. One more inhale. And exhale, opening out, warrior two. So the hips to the wide edge of the mat, arms horizontal. Maybe the gaze turns over the left fingertips. Inhaling here. Exhale, we take that left arm to the left thigh. Right arm reaches up and overhead. The gaze can come underneath the arm. Inhaling here. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up to center. We turn the toes forwards and slightly in, bringing the hands to the waist. Inhale, lifting the chest. Then the gaze up. Exhale, folding forwards, keeping the hands on the waist until about halfway. Then bringing the hands down. Wide leg forwards fold. Inhale to the fingertips. Lift the chest and exhale. We can fold in, let the crown of the head come down towards the floor, walking the hands back. Take as deep a bend into the knees as you like. Maybe give the head a little shake, a little nod, just to make sure that we're really letting go. Back of the neck is long. We inhale, press into the hands, keep them where they are. Lengthen the chest, the spine, lift the chest forwards. Exhale, hands to waist, bend those knees slightly. Inhale, coming up. Good. We're going to do that in reverse. So turning the toes to the right. Inhale, we lift the arms up. Exhale, right forearm to the right thigh, left arm up and over. Side angle, extended side angle pose. Inhale, reaching into the fingertips. Exhaling here. And then inhale, keep that front knee bent. Lift the arms. Turn the gaze over the right fingertips. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe sit a little lower. Inhale. Turning that back foot, lifting the arms. High crescent lunge. So the hips forwards to the short end of the mat. Inhaling here. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, bring those hands down into our lunge. Inhale here, onto the fingertips. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. So make those as big as you can, the breath as expansive as you can. And on the next exhale, lower the knees to the floor, nice and slowly. Sitting up, and we're going to look at our chair. So for our chair, we're going to do this a couple of different ways. What we'll need is a wall, first of all, or a door. I'm going to use my door, and a pillow as well. So the first thing is we'll just look at the chair, our chair in the middle of the room, or on our mats, and we'll bring our pillow with us. So the first thing is the legs in our chair. Now it's always up to you. If your chair, you can have your feet hip distance apart, or they can be together. That's maybe a more traditional way of seeing it than Ashtanga or Iyengar yoga. We are going to put our pillow, however big it is, in between our legs. I've got quite a big pillow here. So with that pillow, you're going to then decide, do you want your feet together? So 2 big toes together, heels very slightly apart. Or if you have a yoga block, maybe you can work with that bigger gap. You can work with feet hip distance. But you decide. If you've got a pillow, you're probably going for the narrow stance. And we're just going to stand here, first of all, and we're going to squeeze our pillow. So this is the first thing in chair, that squeeze of the legs. That's going to encourage an internal rotation on the whole leg. You can really feel it in the thighs, which is going to help us to be really strong. And if you can just try it here, actually. Try to externally rotate the thighs, like kind of roll them away from each other. It's really hard, and it kind of does weird things to the knees. You feel you can't grip that pillow as well. So think about the internal rotation when we're looking at our chair. Grip of the pillow, squeeze that pillow, even if it's not there. We'll always pretend we have an invisible pillow. Good. So from here, hands to heart center, inhale. And then we'll exhale, sitting back into our chair. Now think about pulling the belly button in, squeezing those pelvic floor muscles. So we're not looking for the bum back and the low back to be arched into. We're looking for that flat back, the squeeze of the belly button in, the pelvic floor muscles, all the core. So we've got this nice long spine, nothing curving into the lumbar here. We'll inhale, coming up. And we're going to do that again, this time with the arms as well. So chair arms, we inhale, bring them up as we did at the start. And now you can choose, the arms can be narrow, you can even put the hands together, but that's a tough one. So I like to practice with my arms a little wider in chair. So they're strong, they're straight, and my shoulders want a little bit of extra space, so I give it to them. From here, inhale, exhale, again, sitting back, keeping the belly button drawing in, tailbone lengthening. Little harder here with the arms up, but that squeeze of the pelvic floor muscles and the core muscles is so crucial to our chair. That should be our focus. So you can always take the arms out if it's hindering that. Inhale, coming up, releasing, taking the pillow away, and we're going to come to our wall now. So our wall, just any wall, it can be a narrow bit of wall or a door like I have. We're going to sit into our invisible chair at this wall. You've probably done this before if you've done any sort of weights or squat training in the gym. So we bring our back body onto the wall. Now don't go for too deep a bend to begin with. I want you to focus on that whole back body pressing into the wall. So you can probably feel that is giving you some feedback on all the natural curves in the spine. But here, we want to minimize those curves. So push the low back into the wall. Push the shoulders, the mid back, just trying to minimize or get rid of any gaps. Then from here, keeping that, we can start to sit down into our chair. If we want to today, thighs can go parallel and you walk the feet out so the shins are perpendicular to the floor, thighs parallel to the floor. Ooh, so you can feel this one. This is our supported chair. Even though there's not much support, there is still some. There's more when we do it in the center of the room. So if you like, we can inhale, lift the arms, keep the back body pressing into the wall. Feeling that challenge, noticing what happened when we did take the arms up. The low back for me really wanted to come away. My ribs, the lower ribs want to protrude forwards. So drawing in the belly button, sucking those pelvic floor muscles in and up is really going to help to counter that. One more inhale and exhale, straighten the legs, slide the body up the wall, walk the feet in just a little bit, and we'll take a forwards fold with our hips against the wall. So you can bend the knees, think about still drawing that belly button in, and let the head go. So let the arms maybe hang down near the floor or alongside the legs. This is our counter pose, loosening off the back thigh muscles. And we'll inhale to come up. This time we'll come back into our chair with our back away from the wall. So back is not on the wall. We're looking for that straight spine as we lower the hips. Hips are still on the wall, but the back is coming away. So this is more like our chair that we had before. Option to lift the arms as we inhale. Holding here. Again, see if you want to lower the hips. Bring those thighs down. You don't have to. You choose the difficulty level here. One more inhale. And then we'll exhale. Release. Lovely. So we're going to have some fun with our chair now. Coming to the top of your mat, taking a little flow. So feet together or hip distance, you choose. We're going to inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, sit into your chair. Maybe the gaze comes up as well. Keep thinking about squeezing that belly button in. We're holding here for another inhale. Exhale. We inhale. And then as we exhale, hands can come to heart center, lower the hips all the way to the floor. Doesn't need to be graceful. If you thump down, it's all good. Navasana, boat pose. So we're not done. This is our core. We're squeezing the belly button into the spine, those pelvic floor muscles. The toes can be on the floor if you like. Holding here, inhale. And then we'll exhale, bring the legs down and another forwards fold so that these can be as bent as you like, reaching for the feet. Let the back round this time. The head can come down towards the legs. Inhale into the back body. Exhale here. As we inhale, we're going to come up to sit and back to our Navasana. So we're going to hold behind the backs of the legs this time. And then we're going to rock and roll 3 times. Third one, we're going to come all the way up to chair. So as we exhale, we round the back and we come back, let the feet come over the head. Inhale, come up, balance. Exhale, round the spine, bring it back. have some fun with it. Inhale up. Last one. Now we're going to exhale. And as you come up, we want lots of momentum. Inhale right up into chair. Did you make it? I'm sure you did. Yeah. One more inhale. Exhale. Coming up to stand. We'll do that again. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, maybe the gaze up, draw the belly button in. Exhaling here. Holding another 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Think about lengthening the tailbone. Inhale. And then we'll exhale. You can keep the arms up or bring them to heart center. Lower the hips back into your Navasana, into your boat pose. Remember your options. The toes can touch down. You can hold behind the knees if you like. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhaling here. One more inhale. And then exhale, either come to your Paschimottanasana, your forwards fold like before, or we bring the legs up and overhead, reaching for the feet, pausing here. And then we'll inhale, coming back up to balance. Hold the feet, hold the ankles or the legs, wherever you are, straightening those legs out. They can be hip distance, the feet can be together. So it's like a forwards fold again, but we're balancing on our pelvis, on the back of our pelvis. One more inhale. And as we exhale, round the spine, let go of the feet, rolling back. Inhale, up and hold. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale up. Exhale back. You're not going to come up this time. We inhale up. And then we'll exhale, bring your back onto the floor and stretching the legs out. The arms come wide, shoulder height. Well done. Big one for lunchtime. So well done for sticking with it. We're going to bend the knees in, take some supine twists. So the palms facing up, arms shoulder height. We can draw the knees in up to a tabletop position. Inhaling here. Exhale, dropping them over to the right. Pausing. Inhale. Exhale, pushing the left shoulder blade into the floor. Inhale, knees up to center. Exhale, knees over to the left. Pausing for a breath. Inhale here. Exhale, push that right shoulder blade into the floor. Inhale to center. And before we go over to the right again, we're going to shuffle our hips over to the left slightly. As we come into this longer hold, that's going to keep the hips more in line with the core of the body. Bring the legs over to the right, and a pillow under the knees might be lovely here. The knees don't need to come all the way to the floor. You can draw them in, you can push them away, see what feels good for your spine. Option to turn the gaze over the left fingertips and focus on the shoulders pressing evenly into the floor. Taking a few breaths. Starting to let the body cool down, relax from all the chair, all the rolling around. We'll inhale the legs up to center. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to lift, shift, shuggle the hips over to the right this time, and then dropping the knees to the left. And with that, you should notice a slightly deeper spinal twist. Turning the gaze over the right fingertips if you like. You can always keep the gaze up ahead of the ceiling. Enjoying the release through the spine, pressing the shoulders down into the floor. Letting the breath move into the belly. And inhale the legs up to center. Bring the feet down and take the hips even now so they're in line with the shoulders so you don't feel twisted. We're going to bring the hands onto the front body, finishing with our meditation lying down. So one hand onto the chest, one hand onto the belly, and the knees, you can walk the feet mat width apart. Drop the knees in towards each other, so they're resting on each other. Option to close the eyes here. And taking the attention to that breath. Feeling the movement underneath the hands. Noticing the rhythm of the breath, the location, the speed of the breath. We start to lengthen the inhale, the exhale. And see how much movement you can make happen in the torso. How much can you inflate the belly, push the hand up, the ribs, and then ultimately the chest, feeling that movement under the hand. And exhale, the belly deflates, the ribs, the chest. Releasing the hands from the front of the body. We're going to raise the right arm up and overhead and then roll onto our right side. So the head is cushioned on the upper arm. Pause in here. A couple of breaths. Push yourself up to sit. Finding a comfortable seat. Anjali Mudra, hands to heart center, bowing the head. Just noticing how you feel at the end of your practice. Showing yourself some gratitude for making it along this lunchtime to your mat. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you again.